Has Blake Lively lost yet another dragon? Because Gigi Hadid seems to be snubbing her. We have Meghan Markle that's been or about to be stripped of her royal title by Prince William, soon to be King William. And we got a Real Housewives of Miami trailer that I guess we're going to get into. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. Happy Wednesday. Hey. New episode of The Pop Report is out today, so if you haven't tuned in yet, definitely go check out my other podcast. It's called The Pop Report. We are diving into Beyonce and Katy Perry's latest tours. Andy went to Puerto Vallarta to celebrate the opening of the Trist Hotel. I'm kind of sad that I was not invited. Trist Hotel, get up on it. Trist Hotel. Send your boy a plane. Let's get it. But yeah, he talks about everything that went down. He was hanging out with Sonia Morgan. He saw Erica Jane. He saw Cynthia Bailey. He got to hang out with a number of different housewives and reality stars and had so much fun, so many stories to tell. So we get into that. I'm also on Chef Stu's podcast today. Don't Let It Stew. There's tea in Stu's podcast. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna get in trouble I already know by the end of today, I'm probably gonna get rage text by someone. I'm gonna get in trouble for the tea that I spilled on Stu's podcast. So I mean, don't miss it. It's something that I was like, maybe I should save it for like a members only. And then I was on, listen, once you get me started, I pop off, you know? So yeah, there we go. There you go. Go tune into Don't Let It Stew. Go tune into the Pop Report. The Pop Report's really fun today, actually. We had a lot of fun taping it, diving into all the drama. The drama. Jay Bond says, why is Zach looking extra spicy today? Thank you. I love all the compliments and the nice things people say. It's very sweet of you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will continue to give you shout outs for all the love that you send my way. Let's see. Do we have any new? Let's read some Spotify comments. We haven't got some Spotify comment, or we haven't read some Spotify comments in a minute. Let's see if anything fun came in over the last couple episodes. So many people had really sweet responses and good reactions to the stuff I said about autism earlier. River in Utah says, wow, your brother seems like such a light and is such a sweetheart, such a heartwarming testimony to him. I'm sure he's thankful to have you as his big bro. Thank you for sharing, Zach. Cindy says, I love this podcast so much. Great episode. Get him, Zach. Megan says, you're such a light, Zach. You and your family are amazing. I'll be seeing you in Seattle. Yay, Megan Chase Himmel. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. And then Jess says, okay, it's just too much. When you try to sing and rap, it's just annoying every time. Well, I'm sorry. I just do me. I is me. It's funny. I did see somebody commented on, I think it was YouTube, and someone's like, Zach, I really do. I love your podcast, but then sometimes you kind of get a little political or you say something like this or that, and I just can't get into it. And then I saw someone responded to it and they were like, actually, I think you and I have different definitions for what no filter means. Let's get it. That's right. Okay. Cass says Pop Report was so good today. The book Life 0399 says, yes, the Pop Report was so fun today. Yay. Kayla Boren says, hey, Zach, I'm so proud to see your growth on here in terms of subscribers. Congrats, babe. You deserve all the success. Thank you. What are we at right now? I think we're at 96.4. 96.4. So we're growing every day. We're inching closer to that 100K. 96.4. That's almost, like 3,600 away from, wow, 3,600 is not bad. 3,600 away from 100K. Elizabeth says, what is up with you and gorgeous Stu? You two are gorgeous men, would be great together. I love Stu. Carrie says, I gave a review on Apple Podcasts yesterday. Yay. It usually takes like 48 to 72 hours for them to appear. So maybe on this Friday's episode, I'll give you a shout out when it's posted. Okay, there we go. I love 100K for real estate. Well, what 100K for real estate. Cassie says, I started following you when you were only at 40,000 subscribers. It's amazing to see you grow and become more successful. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you guys. And also, we're going to get into the tea in just a sec, but I wanted to remind everybody while we're talking about the growth of No Filter, I'm going on tour. This is my first 8-city tour. I've done smaller tours with smaller venues in the past, but like this is the first big official 10-year anniversary tour that we're doing, the Zack tour. Please get your tickets. Come to one of our shows. We're going to be in Dallas, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. You can get your tickets now at nofilterlive.com. It's a live taping of the podcast. It's really fun. So I love doing these shows because it's a great chance for us to hang out, to have a little Liddy City night out, to spill some tea together. Lots of pals and friends are going to be joining me on the tour. I'm going to start making those announcements next week, but I guess I kind of already announced like Donna Bowling and Chef Stu are going to be part of the tour as well. I mean, we kind of revealed that on Stu's podcast today, so be sure to tune into that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Get it. Get it. Russ Davis says, I think Zach was still in the 15,000 subscriber range when I started. Wow, that was a minute ago. Let's get it. You get 100K and Blake Lively settles. Could you imagine if that's the thing? Blake Lively decides to settle her lawsuit. Well, listen, we're going to be covering all of this together live on tour, on stage. We're going to be deep into depositions and the discovery. So come, like, it's actually really fun because not only do you get to enjoy the show, but I feel like every time I have one of these live shows, it's a fun community hub where everyone that you're chatting with in the live chat, you're kind of seeing each other in person. And it's just like a fun community where we come, we take shots, we do drinks, we like get to meet each other and get to like know each other. And it's fun, you know? So I really do enjoy going on tour and connecting with everybody because you kind of find the Zach Pack community, but in person, and then people become friends, and then they go out for drinks, and then they're like, "Oh my god, I met this person at your Philly show, and it was so cool because now we're like super close." So yeah, let's get it, let's get it, get it, get it. All right, I'll see you on tour. Get your tickets now at nofilterlive.com. There's also a link in the description below. Go to nofilterlive.com. Nofilterlive.com. Almost 100K. Wow, that was quick. Got to get the rest soon. Yes. Okay. What do we want to start with? Oh, we just got a Real Housewives of Miami trailer. So coming to Bravo, we Real Housewives of Miami. When is it return? I actually didn't pay attention because I'm just gonna say I enjoyed Miami, but I just kind of feel like okay, so it premieres June 11th. Which, by the way, guys, I have another exciting announcement for something that's happening in June, which I'm very excited to announce. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But anyway, da 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 da. Let's see. Real Houses of Miami trailer. Okay, so Miami returns to Bravo June 11th. It looked okay. Like it didn't look super juicy. We do have a cameo by Dr. Nicole. So if you watch Real Houses of Miami, Dr. Nicole obviously left the show because she said that she's focused on her baby because she had just had a baby and she was dealing with postpartum. And she also is a doctor, so she doesn't really need the show. And for whatever reason, she chose to not return, and she is making a cameo on the show though, and she does talk about because she was replaced with her husband's ex, and so the ex has now been added to the cast of the show, and people are like, oh, is that why she's not coming back? Is because the ex is now going to be on the show. And so she addresses the ex in the trailer, and she's like, I've never met her and I would love to meet her because obviously I think we would have a lot in common. So I guess there's not a whole lot of drama between Dr. Nicole and the ex. I think her name is Stephanie. There didn't seem to be a whole lot going on with Stephanie at all in this trailer. Like, it kinda seemed a little lackluster, TBH. So, we'll see what the new season of Miami brings. Okay, let's talk Meghan Markle. Okay. So, it appears Prince William is still not very happy with Meghan Markle. And so there was a new report that came out. I believe it was via the Daily Beast. They published a new article saying that Prince William, as he's now expected to take the throne, which is kind of crazy because King Charles just came in, and I feel like everybody's already preparing for King Charles's exit. Obviously, we know he's sick and he's old and he's, probably not gonna be around that much longer, but it's crazy. He just ascended, and now we're already looking at Prince William, who's so young in comparison to, like, Queen Elizabeth or Prince Charles, or sorry, King Charles now. So, at this point, oh, no. No. I don't know what to do. So, I guess I just can't wait to be king. But the plan is that he's actually very upset that Meghan Markle is not only using her Duchess of Sussex title, which she used in the Netflix series and she's using quite a bit, but I guess there's the HRH title, which is the Her Royal Highness or His Royal Highness. And so when they left the royal family, they made an agreement with the queen that they would not officially use their HRH titles. But Meghan was just on, what was the name of the something Lima's podcast? Meghan was just on Kern Lima's podcast. And it's the one, I don't know if you've seen the clips, but they're going around all over social media. And Meghan's like not wearing any makeup. And she's like, oh, I'm so humble. I'm so this. And I don't know. She's just giving us her sad stories from before she knew who Prince Harry was. And so we have more of her sad stories, and she's not wearing any makeup, and she's like, I'm so relatable and I'm so humble and blah, 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 blah. Well, she, I guess, gave a gift basket to Kern Lima. And in the gift basket, and it had like the jams. She had heard like expensive jams that or they're preserves. They're not jams. I mean, even though I think they kind of are jams, and everyone's talking about how like sweet they were from the people that ordered them, which it does kind of make sense if they were really sweet, why they would be called jams, because Meghan was very clear that she likes to call hers preserves because they're not sweet because you don't add all that extra sugar. But then the ones that she's selling happen to be super sweet and kind of runny. So does kind of seem like maybe it's actually jam and not the preserve she's making in her backyard with her bee farm that she never goes near. But so with this gift basket that Meghan gave to Kern Lima, she signed it saying, with compliments of Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. And I guess that's where Prince William was like, oh, hell no, gloves off, because you're not allowed to use those titles officially. You left the royal family, you stepped down from your royal duties, so you can't refer to yourself as Her Royal Highness. And then to be Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex and to be signing off on these gift baskets. But I guess somebody close to Meghan Markle or Meghan Sussex or whatever she wants to call herself these days, Meghan, someone close to her said, well, technically, she didn't use it in an official capacity, right? They're not allowed to use these names commercially. And that was kind of the agreement that they made when they left the royal family, is when you leave the royal family, you're not allowed to sell products and use that name officially, which is kind of weird because then how does she get away with it in the Netflix series? Because in the Netflix series, she's Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. I guess because she didn't use Her Royal Highness, that's kind of like the caveat that she was able to kind of get away with it through. I don't know. I'm just like, really? I Why do you want this title? If you hated the royal family so much, you took his husband away from this tradition that he grew up in and convinced him that it was so bad and they were racist and all these things that she wanted to claim against the royal family. And now all of a sudden, she not only wants to just be the Duchess of Sussex again, now she wants to be Her Royal Highness, and she's signing off Her Royal Highness. And my argument is, well, one, she used Duchess of Sussex in the Netflix special. But even with this gift basket, like this wasn't, they're saying it was a personal gift. And because it was a personal gift, that she, could use the Her Royal Highness if she wants to, because essentially it could be like a made up name, right? Like I can start, signing whatever I can, or my merch t-shirts, and I'll start signing them His Royal Highness Zack Peter, right? His Royal Highness Daddy Sleuth. That's how I'm going to start signing things. His Royal HRH Daddy Sleuth. But I'm just like, but why would you want to, like, yeah, technically you can do whatever, like Countess Luann, she's not a real countess, but she can call herself a countess, but they're not allowed to use the HRH, His Royal Highness or Her Royal Highness title. I don't know. Therian for Life says, thank you, Zach. If you had to flee, you should not exploit the name. Exactly. The royal refugees needed to get away. They needed to seek refuge in Tyler Perry's mansion here in Los Angeles. So, sorry. That's how you should sign these things off now. Your gift baskets should not be Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. It should be the royal refugees, Meghan and Harry Markle. That's how it should be signed off from here on out. HRH Daddy Sleuth. Yeah, that's how I'm going to sign my things. It was a public format. Well, not only was it a public format, but it wasn't just like a personal gift, which why would you even like what a fucking loser if you're gonna write a personal letter to somebody, you're gonna write a Christmas card to your BFF and be like, Her Royal Highness. Like, how pretentious do you sound? You look like an idiot. But so this was more of a professional capacity because you were on a podcast to promote your podcast, to promote your it's a PR optic moment, right? And you do PR when you're trying to promote something, right? Which goes back to the business that you're trying to promote, right? As ever, I'm assuming is what she was intending to promote in doing this interview. It was a PR stunt. PR is done in a professional capacity. Very rarely do you do it in a personal capacity unless you just have a big ego. But not only that, but you're gifting your products from As Ever. You're giving them to somebody, which is another marketing ploy. And so you're marketing what? Your business. So when you sign off Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex, that is an official capacity. It's an official capacity, and you're missing out. There it is, you know? So I'm glad that Prince William has plans to strip them officially and to make it clear that they're not allowed to use those titles because I guess he's upset that this he feels like is disrespectful to his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, because the agreement she made with them was, well, if you're going to step down from your official royal duties, then you're not allowed to use those titles. We'll see what he does, but he seems like he's coming in quick. You know, he's like, I'm coming in, I'm coming in hot. M. Adalden says this could be a way that the royal family is publicly slapping her hand and giving her a final warning. Good. Why do you want to be part of the royal family if like she lives rent free in the heads of people that can barely pay their rent? My bills are paid, baby. Thank you. And I trust me, I think Prince William's doing okay paying his rent. Uh, but yeah, I just to me, I wouldn't have an issue with her if I just felt like she was authentic, right? And there have been compliments that I've had, but I just Mon says, "What's the main reason Meghan Markle is so disliked?" Well, she's disliked because people feel she was very disrespectful to the royal family in the UK. And, you know, it seemed like she my opinion, preyed on Prince Harry, wanted to get into the royal family, wanted to elevate her celebrity status, and obviously becoming a member of the royal family is like a really big elevation. She realized that it was a lot harder and there was actual work that needed to be done. She didn't like it. She didn't want to be in the royal family anymore. Now, there are all these rumors from staff members or people within Windsor Castle and within working around the royal family that all claim that Meghan Markle was actually not pleasant to work with. She was very difficult. She would yell at people, she would berate people. There were, you know, rumors about Meghan Markle's staff, or she would have to share staff with Princess Catherine, and Princess Catherine, her staff would come crying to her because Meghan would make them cry because Meghan was just not a pleasant person to work with. Now, those rumors didn't stay in the UK because they've translated on to people that have worked with her at Netflix and people that have worked with her at Spotify before she lost her Spotify deal. And all of these people say that Meghan Markle is very difficult to work with. Her With Love Meghan series had 80 people in that rental house that they were using to film it. Why do you need 80 people? Even her podcast at Spotify, I remember, had an astronomical number of people that she needed hired to work on this show. Why? I don't know. It's ridiculous to me, but whatever. She's disliked because people feel like she was disrespectful to the royal family. She took Harry away from his family. They did the Oprah interview where they called the royal family racist. So, I mean, there's just a number of different things that Meghan has done. I think for me personally, I just don't like how disingenuous she feels, right? She says that she'd never heard of Prince Harry before. And then when she met him, they had to use code names. But then it's like, how? And she didn't know how to curtsy when she met the queen. Like all of these things that all of the stories that she's told. I read the book, it's called Revenge by Matt Bauer, and that really exposes a lot of the inconsistencies in the stories that she's told. Or she said that when she was part of the royal family that she had to wear nudes and neutrals and muted tones and muted colors because that's, you know, she didn't want to overshadow the queen. She didn't want to overshadow any of the senior members of the royal family. But then when you look at Meghan Markle's history, all she's ever worn are nudes and muted tones and earth tones, like just very muted colors. That's just always been her style. So to not just be like, yeah, I'd always, you know, was more of a nudes kind of girl rather than, you know, wearing bright pink, bright purple, whatever. It wasn't because you were trying to not steal the thunder from the queen, it was because you had this style that was already your style, you know? I don't know, it's just that's why I call them the royal refugees, 'cause they're like, "We needed to escape the royal family, and we went to Canada, and then there were paparazzi in Canada, so we needed to escape Canada, and we were saved by Tyler Perry, who let us stay in his mansion while we got on our feet." And so that's why I call them the royal refugees. They just seem like grifters. And so my thing is, it's like if the royal family was so terrible and you hated it for all these years and they were racist and you felt like they were going to be prejudiced against your kids, then why would you want to continue to use Her Royal Highness or Duchess of Sussex? Like, wouldn't you want to cut ties with that family altogether because it was so toxic of an environment? Like, why would you want to keep the name? So that's, yeah, my tryst. I've tried to, these celebs are cooked. Yeah. It isn't disrespect, it's fraud. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch. Khaleesi Dyer says, "I don't hate Meghan, but I don't watch but didn't she watch The Crown? It's about the crown." Yeah. Harry is a dullard. I don't know what a dullard means, but I agree. April says, "They can parse every single word and say that they find lies, but will eat up talking points from lying conservatives." Okay, girl, thank you. I'm glad you came in on your high horse today and needed to do some social justice work in the comments. Not only is April a social justice warrior, she's also a keyboard warrior. She's like, "Heh, Meghan Markle's in the title. Let me get up in it and defend my girl Meghan Markle, who I've never met and doesn't know who I am. But you know what? Snap, pat the puss. Let's get it." Janae with the super chat says it was a personal gift. She dropped it off as a friend helping other friends out because she was having a slumber party. It is so pretentious. Listen, here's the thing. If it was a gift from a friend to a friend, then to say Her Royal Highness is very pretentious. If it wasn't a gift and it was a professional like PR stunt, then that's a professional capacity and you shouldn't be using Her Royal Highness regardless. Like either way, no to Her Royal Highness. A dullard means brain dead. I mean, yeah. Are we still gonna get no filter lives when you're on tour? We're gonna try, Kenzie. We're gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. Trust me, there are lots of things that I have in store planned for this summer, so get ready. But get your tickets. Grab your friends, wear your florals, and get your tickets to this activated tour. Go to nofilterlive.com. Nofilterlive.com. But you're defending the Royals Act, but you've never met them. April comes in and says, "Low vibrational." Girl, you're in my live chat and you're calling me low vibrations. Okay. The royal refugees. Yeah. You're too funny, Zach. Thank you. She's just jealous of Catherine. Maybe. I don't know. Meghan Markle likes to instigate drama and then pretends she's a victim. Yeah, that's my issue. Is it's the constant need to make yourself out to be the victim. Prince William will clean up when he gets crowned king. About time Harry's going to have a wake up call. I agree. Listen, Harry shit on his family all this time. Zach, have you heard that Erica Jane was demoted to a friend on Real Houses of Beverly Hills? I have heard the rumors. I don't believe that they're true. I think it's a situation. Yeah. I mean, listen, they've said that Dorit's been demoted season after season. They're like, Dorit's going to be demoted. Dorit's going to be demoted. Dorit's going to be demoted. And so I think that they did have a conversation with Dorit and they sat her down. They're like, listen, either give it all or you're going to be demoted. And so I don't know what Erica's plans are for the next season. I would imagine we'll find out within the coming weeks now that they are getting ready to gear up for production of Real Houses of Beverly Hills. We'll see. But I don't believe there's any truth to those rumors. So glad you're exposing Meghan. Thank you. Meghan needs to stay relevant. Unfortunately, she loves the spotlight, unlike her husband. You can tell Harry doesn't really like the spotlight. Like you can tell everything that he said about growing up, about like, oh, it's so public and we're in the press and all of that stuff. Like it just feels like he's not interested in the public life where you can just, Meghan just constantly throws herself in it. Okay, girl, don't come after my boy Zach. He's all the good vibes and high energy, and it was Mark Wahlberg said. Tiffany says Erica had one low-key season. That's it. They better not demote her. Yeah, I mean, and listen, she still tried to bring it at the finale, right? When she called out Jennifer Tilly and Garcelle about the Sutton thing. I mean, the hard part is when you're gonna bring it, especially in the finale, if you go up against someone like Garcelle, you're gonna be, she's gonna turn herself into a victim and it's not a fair fight. And then if you go up against Sutton, her little toothpick legs are gonna shiver and she's gonna snap, And she'll be like, oh, your ugly leather pants. And so it's not a fair fight. Like at least the other ladies could go toes and they can, have it out and they could, beat each other up in the mud. But Sutton and Garcelle just weren't, they could dish it, but they couldn't take it. So I think that's why, we see Erica in the finale and she does try to bring in. She's like, well, let's try to have a moment. And she tries to at least make the finale interesting, whereas nobody else is really willing to give anything. But she didn't give much throughout the season. I will give you that. But again, she came off of a really wild couple of years and couple of seasons. Bitsy Black says, everyone thinking the royal family is great. They treated Princess Diana horribly and aren't great. Meghan, unpopular opinion. Who cares? Yeah, I'm not saying the royal family is great, and I'm not trying to defend the royal family. I'm just saying if they're so bad and you want to get away from them, then why do you still try to attach yourself to the royal family? To me, it's the contradiction of it all. I'm not saying that the royal family is great. I'm not saying that they're not racist. I'm not saying that they're perfect, right? I don't know. I'm not from the UK, so I don't know the culture of the royal family or just, the monarchy in general. I don't fully understand it. So to me, I can only look at it from an outsider, but all we see here are Prince Harry and Meghan. And to me, I'm just like, if she hated the royal family and she wants such a quiet, meek life, then why does she keep overexposing herself and trying to attach herself to the royal family? Doesn't make sense. Kenzie says, I loved it when Erica told Garcelle she wasn't interesting. Well, she's not interesting. That's just kind of the truth. She's not interested. Yo, what's up with Avi? I don't know what's up with Avi. Can someone tell me if Blake and Ryan can pay off the jury and the judge? No, I don't think they can pay off the jury, and that would be very hard for them to do and would take a lot of work. I don't think Judge Lyman is putting up with any BS. I think he's pretty headstrong. He's on it, and good for him. But and even with the jury, even with the jury, it's just kind of like, Okay, actually, now that we're on there, everyone keeps wanting to ship me and Stu. You guys are funny. The Blake Lively, Gigi Hadid. So obviously we know they're besties. Blake and Gigi. Gigi got an advanced copy, or she got to watch It Ends With Us before Justin Baldoni did. So Gigi Hadid and her boyfriend Bradley Cooper very much seem to have been embedded in helping Blake with creative in terms of direction for It Ends With Us. We even had Gigi Hadid, who attended the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine alongside Blake Lively, took a bunch of pictures together. They were part of the Pussy Posse with Taylor and Blake and Gigi and all the pretty girls, right? It's the pretty girl Pussy Posse. And so I guess the Pussy Posse has completely ditched Blake Lively because Gigi Hadid, well, as we saw them together was at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere, and that's where Gigi admitted that she had seen It Ends With Us, and she's like, it's so great, I love it, and she was so proud of Blake, yada yada yada. Well, fast forward, Gigi Hadid just celebrated her big 30th birthday. It was a big birthday bash, and Hathaway was there. Taylor Swift was there. So there were Bella Hadid, her sister was there. There were a number of celebs that were there, but the one person that was not there was Blake Lively. Gigi knows best says, you are the best at telling the truth. I'm an American that lived in Kensington, London for 10 years. She was and is the biggest fraud, and the crown is fictional. Yeah, I believe it. Elizabeth says, Zack, my husband is yelling at me and I made him go get another energy drink. Why is your husband yelling at you? Oh, because you made him go get another energy drink. Wake up. Let's go. It's already 9:50 in Los Angeles. Let's get it. Dang, burn the Blake. Yeah, that's the thing. Don't know. I don't know. Anne Hathaway is meh, fake feminist. I mean, I don't know much about Anne Hathaway, so I can't really talk too much about that. But yeah, Anne Hathaway was there. Taylor Swift was there. So again, the Pussy Posse is sticking together. They're staying strong. They're doing it. They're cute. Tammy says, hi, off topic, but what should I wear to your Chicago show? Bring your friends, wear your florals, wear your Justin Baldoni shirt. So it seems Gigi Hadid wants nothing left to do with Blake Lively, which makes sense, right? And I'm sure Taylor Swift wants nothing. Do you think Taylor Swift's the head of the Pussy Posse and she's just like, listen, we have to cut out Blake? Because we've seen them hang out. They would do girls' nights together. They would go to football games together. They would celebrate each other's birthdays. So they were constantly like patting each other on the back and being like, again, Blake Lively she had Gigi Hadid with her at the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. She had not Ryan Reynolds. She had Bradley Cooper help her, with creative direction editing It Ends With Us. So much so that she thanks Bradley Cooper in the credits of It Ends With Us. Seems like she may get Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci and, Anna Kendrick to begrudgingly stand next to her and smile as cutely as she can. But at the end of the day, I think the powerful players in Hollywood are definitely starting to and try to distance themselves from Blake Lively. And it's probably because, again, we're in the deposition subpoena phase. Like now, not Ryan Reynolds, Brian Friedman is subpoenaing all these all these companies so that they can get documents that may be related to It Ends With Us and, shady shit that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have done in the past. And then now I'm assuming depositions have begun, or at least they've reached out to attorneys. I saw somebody in the comments was like, Zach, you don't know the difference between deposing somebody and subpoenaing somebody. And I was like, I do know the difference, but I'm just saying if the subpoenas have gone out, then we're officially moving into discovery. And if that's the case, I believe it was because Leslie Sloan was the only person that filed a motion to stay discovery, which means she wanted to prevent discovery from moving forward until her case was determined whether it would be dismissed or not. And we still don't have an answer on the motions to dismiss, but the judge said no, discovery can move forward. So it appears discovery is moving forward. So when I say that it sounds like Taylor Swift may have already been deposed, what I meant is that I'm pretty sure the attorneys are talking about depositions and scheduling them. And as we learned from the Ask Two Lawyers guys, what was it, last week, maybe the week before when they were on this podcast, they said that depositions can last up to 7 hours per person because you have all the attorneys that have to ask questions and it goes back and forth and it's a long dragged out process. We'll see. And then tomorrow, guys, grab your friends, wear your florals. This Thursday is the premiere for Another Simple Favor. Another Simple Favor. Mm, 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 mm. Boom, bada, bang. Chain, 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 chain booze. All right. So, what do you think? Is Taylor Swift cut out of the Pussy Posse? I don't know. I have thoughts. I have feelings. Gwen Mendez says, "Don't forget Meghan was caught lying in court in the UK. Blake and Meghan are her BS sisters." Yeah. So we'll have to see how it plays out for Blake Lively, but I would imagine depositions are being scheduled now. Attorneys are in discussions. Brian Friedman and Baldoni's team responded to Marvel's letter to the judge because obviously they want to be dismissed. They don't want to be, they're like, "Excuse me, judge, I would like to be excused from this narrative." So I believe Brian Friedman came out and was like, "Well, actually, no, we've been trying to work with them. We've been trying to, mediate or like figure out what we can do to get these documents that are relevant to the case while also making sure that we're not overreaching." So there have been conversations that have been had in private. So the fact that Marvel wants to now write a letter to the judge and say they want to completely, not be part of any of this, that's BS because we're trying to work with them and trying to make sure that we're respecting their privacy while also making sure that we're getting the relevant documents that we need. But obviously, Marvel is not willing to play ball. They're very much like, no, we're going to fight this as much as we can because they have a vested interest. They want to protect themselves. And I think more so than them wanting to protect any proprietary info, I think they want to protect their brand, and they know if it comes out that Ryan Reynolds was trolling Justin Baldoni and it was deliberate and intentional, then they see that their own lead talent was abusing his power on the set of their films, and so it definitely doesn't look good for them. Why are we talking about labias? Guys, what is this labia conversation happening in the live chat? That was a wild twist. King says, if this goes to trial, do we get to see the depots? Well, we're not going to be able to watch any of the trials, but I would imagine the depositions, I believe right now um, they're supposed to be filmed video depositions. And so I would imagine those get played at trial. And depending on the attorney, or not the attorneys, the reporters that we have in the courtroom during the trial, I would imagine that we'll definitely at least hear about it. And at some point, I wouldn't be surprised if there were clips from the depositions that end up leaking online. We'll have to wait and see, though. Meghan Markle isn't allowed to use Her Royal Highness, but she's allowed to use Duchess of Sussex. But either way, obviously, Meghan knows what the Queen meant. She meant don't capitalize on it or have selfish interests. Yes, Kristen, I agree, and it seems like that's what she's doing. She's obviously trying to capitalize on it. Yanni says, I think the videos might be leaked. I agree. Autumn says, are courtroom reporters allowed? Yes, there will be. I don't believe they'll be allowed to film or take photos, but they will be allowed to go in. They'll have a handy dandy notebook. They'll be able to write about it, like take notes, and then they'll be able to share what they learned in court. So, yeah. The comments about herpes. Yeah, everyone's talking about Blake Lively's herpes. I don't care about Blake Lively's herpes. Cersei says Marvel can't afford a scandal. Their movies haven't been doing well for a while. Deadpool and Wolverine was an exception, but if even that is ruined, Marvel will be toast. I don't know if it'll be toast altogether, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with Marvel. They're definitely fighting this as much as they can. Blake's done in Hollywood without a doubt. She was the problem. I mean, I don't doubt that. Blake Lively is getting destroyed in the public. All of her PR moves are failing miserably. So many PR crises. Well, here's the thing. They're going to continue these PR moves. I think, like I said on, what was it, Monday's episode of the podcast, they're going to be fine. On as much as I hate to say that, and I know people are like, no, I disagree with you because that's not fair. It's not fair. But I actually think the way that they're playing this PR game right now, they're going to be fine in the end. Even if they lose, the headlines will be like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds spent date night out in New York City after court loss. And then in 2, 3, 4 weeks, eventually those headlines are going to fade and it's not going to be focused on their court loss. It's going to be focused on their date nights, right? Like we're seeing so many of those headlines now. Look at Blake Lively, the PDA at the Wrexham game. And just, what was it, last night? There was another one about like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds enjoy a date night in NYC. So Mel says, I don't think they'll be fine, dear. No one reads those headlines anymore. I don't know. I think they're gonna be okay, as much as I hate to say that. Mildy Mercurial says Avengers Doomsday is going to be huge. Thunderbolt is testing well. Marvel's on an upswing. Actually, they still can't afford to be seen to be bullies, Disney or Marvel. I know. I think that's why they're gonna fight it. It's not so much that they want to protect Ryan Reynolds, they want to protect themselves. And I think they know Ryan Reynolds was obviously doing some shady stuff, and they're going to try to protect that because it's in their best interest to protect it. So we'll see. Perhaps Justin will tack on allegations of intentionally giving him herpes. Why not? Well, then he would have to admit to the affair, but we don't know if there was an affair. Libby says, we read the headlines. They have enough money to be okay. Yeah, they'll be okay. That's the unfortunate part. They have enough money. I mean, well, listen, I hope that even if they lose the trial, that they get that big $400 million price tag slapped on it. I doubt that they will. Obviously, when you sue, you throw an astronomical number out there and you fall somewhere below. Ultimately, it'll come down to the judge and the jury how much will be paid out in damages. There will be like actual damages, treble damages, punitive damages, like all attorneys' fees, all of that stuff will get brought up. Have faith that Justin will see justice in the end of it, and we have to continue to fight for that justice. And I think part of that justice is going to be us continuing to show up and support him in the future. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. If people are not following the trial, they have no idea about Blake. She's acting like she's being bullied. That's the thing. If people aren't following the trial or not following the details closely, they think like, oh, Justin's a bad guy, but so is Blake. Like they're both like bad people and this is kind of petty. But they don't see like how deep and insidious this entire takedown of Baldoni actually was. Labial herpes. Herpes is on your mouth? Really? But isn't I thought labial herpes was on your labia. Why would they call it labial herpes if it's on your mouth? Yes, I have seen the photos of everyone. They're zooming in on Blake's cold sore and they're like, oh my God, she has herpes. What did they say? Like 90% of adults have herpes in some form. Sabs says, I agree with you, Zach. I think they will end up being fine as they have the PR money for insane headlines. Most normals don't follow stuff the way we do. We're so in it, right? We're reading court documents and I mean, that's why I think it's powerful that shows like mine and shows like, we have like Kirsty Flaw, we have Donna Bowling, we have Court of Random Opinion, we have all of these people and all of these voices. Andy from Popcorn Planet, even Dave Neal, all of these people now have a say and we have millions of people that are watching us and tuning into our shows now that I think, new media is kind of the forefront. They're still going to own and be cool in traditional media. And unfortunately, there's still a big portion of the population that's glued to traditional media. The transition hasn't fully gone over yet, but at least, we're here. We're breaking these things down and, we can continue to put the truth out there. Cassidy O'Connell had a great video on them on House of Cards. I need to tune into Cassidy's video. I do, because everyone keeps telling me that it's really good. I just need to actually listen. A bitch be booked and busy these days. I'm trying to keep up with all the content. You're so right. Even if Justin wins, nothing can change the fact that they caused irreparable damage to his reputation just because they could. Hope we can just support him after all this. I think that's the goal, is we just have to continue to support him. Labia are lips. But you also have lips down there. Well, I don't know. I'm not like, ooh, my labia is kind of dry. Does anybody have some chapstick? You know? You don't often hear men talking about their labia. Like, ooh, my labia. You want to nibble on my labia while we make out, baby? No. No. Mouth sores are a form of herpes, but the other kind necessarily, I think, but not the other kind. I don't. Popcorn Planet has a crew member that says Justin didn't want to kiss Blake because of her mouth sores. That's why the labia stuff is going around. I was like, why is everybody talking about Blake Lively's labia and her herpes? So there's a crew member. Okay, so shout out to Andy. Oh, here we go. Brittany says, Andy posted a video asking people walking out of the Simple Favor movie if they were following the drama, and most of them said no. He said if they liked Blake, and most said yes. That's the reality, right? But also, you have to remember, the premiere is very curated. Again, this is why you have the new media versus traditional media, mainstream media. They're going to do the premieres and they're going to do the photos and they're going to have their press that cover the headlines the way that they want them covered. And they're going to make sure that the theater is packed with nothing but fans. And they're going to make sure that they have people there that are going to show up, that are going to, just be cool to hang out with Blake Lively and whatnot. It's all smoke and mirrors. So even though it seems that way, they don't reflect majority of our country. That's kind of the reality. It's all smoke and mirrors. Oz is behind the curtain. You and I, we've seen Oz at this point. We know what's behind the curtain. But there are still other people that believe the big and powerful Oz, the optics of Hollywood. And so the premiere and the fans and the people that are talking about this, that's why it may look kind of infuriating because that's all we're seeing from them. But we also have to know that mainstream media audience, the people that are putting those headlines or those, strategically placing people in these theaters, that's not real. It's a stunt. We've been lied to how many times by the mainstream media? Didn't they hire fake fans? I don't even think they need to hire fake fans. They just need to hire people that aren't really tuned in to the trial. They don't even need to hire them. They just need to invite them. And think about it. If somebody's willing to show up to this, they're obviously not following it that closely, or they're like, ride or die Amber Heard, save me too people. And so they're going to attend that. And of course, they're going to be like, oh my God, it was amazing. Go fake yourself, Megan says. I stopped reading, watching, or listening to mainstream media in 2008, and that was liberation. Wow, 2008? You were very ahead of the curve. Anyone who tried Anyone who gives it a try will love fact checking all on their own and drawing their own conclusions. I agree. Brittany says, yes, it was weird. Me, myself, they didn't see it first. Hannah says, that's like asking inmates if their sentence should be shortened. Yeah, that's a good point. Herpes 1 and herpes 2. If you kiss someone that has a fever blister, you can get a fever blister, so don't kiss them. Yeah. Oh my God, could you imagine if that story were true about Justin Baldoni not wanting to kiss Blake Lively because she has herpes? Oh my God, that would be I'm surprised that didn't turn into a harassment claim of slut shaming. Because remember, he asked about her weight and suddenly that became fat shaming. Isabella Farrow removed all her pictures with Blake Lively. Yes, you're a few weeks behind because we covered that story a few weeks ago. But yes, Isabella seems to have completely distanced herself from Blake Lively and doesn't want any part of any of this drama. Same thing with Jenny Slate. Not that she's removed any of her stuff, but Jenny has not commented. We haven't seen her hang out with Blake, so it seems like she's very much keeping her distance as well. We'll see. We shall see. I wonder if that will come out in the depositions, that if she had lip sores on her lip. I don't know. We'll see. Imagine new discovery. Blake Lively has herpes on her labia. Does that really mean so like if I say, "Ooh, kiss me on my labia," does that mean I just want like a kiss on my lips? Is that the same context in which we can use the word labia? I need to Google this. I don't trust you guys. I'm gonna be like out there being like, "Ooh, look at my labia, mom." Okay, no. Labia is the inner and outer, this is the actual definition for labia. The inner and outer folds of the vulva at either side of the vagina. Oh, there's a plural word, labium. Okay, you guys are out here telling me about making me talk about my labia, and I don't even have labia. I just looked it up. Allegedly. You know, Friedman is talking to the crew to ask if they saw SH. Oh, I know that's right. It's not labia. What you guys are talking about, labia herpes. It's labials. Oh, labialis. Labialis. What? Moans. I'm dying laughing. Why are you guys laughing? You were telling me that labia meant lips. I'm not. Rachel's like, you're so funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I just learned that I had labia and then I found out I don't have labia. So glad I get to work from home. I'd be fired right now for laughing so well, because everyone in the live chat kept telling me that I have labia. And I was like, last time I checked, I don't have labia. I don't even have foreskin. Okay. Someone was setting you up for that labia word. I know. Somebody was setting me up with that labia word. I guess Gigi Hadid has Anne Hathaway, but I guess Blake has Stanley Tucci and Emily Blunt, Devil Wears Prada. I hope they don't put Blake Lively in the sequel to Devil Wears Prada. I hope that's not why Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci were there, is because they were going to somehow work Blake Lively into. No, no. Libby says, I don't even have foreskin, was not on my bingo card for hump day. You thought I had foreskin? You thought I had an uncut dick? Okay, this is taking a turn. Is that what you see when you look at me? Foreskin? Wow. Wow. No, I don't have any foreskin. I am circumcised. I confuse labia, the inner and outer folds of the vulva. Oh, Elizabeth says, I'm confused. Labia. Well, because the labia are the lips of the coochie. Marianne Stout says, okay, I'm out. Good taking to Rex. Marianne's like, I'm out. Too much labia for me. I'm out. Labia and foreskin. No, thank you. I'm done. Brittany says, what is happening? I don't know. Somebody tried to come in with a biology lesson and suddenly they got it all wrong. So Blake Lively has herpes on her mouth, not her labia. Word of the day is labia. I love that this is coming. Your handle is meat popsicle. Ew. Wait, what's wrong with foreskin? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with foreskin. There's not. I don't think there's anything wrong with foreskin at all. I just don't happen to have it. Is this an episode of Embarrassing Bodies? I mean, I guess the vulva is the labia. Labia majora and labia minora make up the vulva as a whole. So there's the major and the minor labia. Got it. No, Zach. No, Zach, what? Zach, it's clean cut. Yes, it is clean cut. Grab your labial torals. Grab your friends. Wear your labias. I see beautiful, flawless skin on your face. Snatched. Thank you. I have beautiful skin everywhere, even where the skin was cut off. Who knew Zach was going to give us an anatomy lesson today? Listen. I don't even know. We were thrown off because everybody's like, no, you have everyone in the live chat. Everyone was like, you have labia on your mouth. And I was like, when did labia on your mouth become a thing? I wasn't even, oh my God. Wanda says, oh my God, I cannot even write anymore because I'm laughing so much. She might, Carrie says, listen, she might have labia herpes. We don't know. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Is there another term for lips? Okay, sorry. Brigitte's trying to give us the lesson. She says it's not labia, it's genitalia. It is labial herpes, herpes from the lips, or herpes labialis, which is the Latin medical term. So labial herpes is herpes from the lips. Wait, I'm not listening to the live chat anymore. I'm gonna Google this. What is oral herpes called? Oh, it's called herpes labialis. Okay, so oral herpes is known as herpes labialis, cold sore, fever blister, or oral facial herpes. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. Whether you call it a cold sore or a fever blister, it's a common infection of the mouth area. It's HSV1. Got it. Got it. Yeah, let's just leave the labia out of it and let's just stick to mouth herpes or downstairs herpes. Yeah, let's just keep it to oral. Stephanie says, so Blake has herpes? Is that what the conversation is about? Yeah. Hannah says, it's a damn cold sore, you guys. I know, but then they started saying that it was on your labia. Jordan says, I'm 7 minutes behind and the chat is all labia and foreskin. I'm scared. Mildly says, I just facepalm myself to the face so hard, cracking up over here. Silly Matsal says, in the Philippines, we call lips lobby. Okay. Come inside my lobby. Labial versus labia. August says, okay, next subject. I think that's all I got for you. We're just going to end it there. We're going to end it on the labia. Oh, man, what a time. Brigitte says, I'm loving this. My high school Latin classes have paid off. Have they? Because I feel like you've caused more confusion in the live chat than anything. You made me think I had labia on my mouth. Alice Daly says, Meghan Markle's products are amazing. Great. Listen, if you like dead flower petals for $15, good for you. Put it all over your eggs. It ends on labia. Devil Wears Prada 2, who will be the cast? Do we know? What's all the originals? It's Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci. We don't know who else. I mean, maybe Blake Lively is gunning for a spot in The Devil Wears Prada 2. That's why. All right. That's all I got for you. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Check out Don't Let It Stew. Like I said, there's tea that I spilled on Stew's podcast. That's probably going to get me in trouble. So I'm going to probably just keep my notifications muted. Yeah. All right. Love you. Appreciate you guys. I will talk to you later. Latest, Gata. Have a good one. Talk to you tomorrow. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you're enjoying the show. Drop a comment below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to get your tickets to the Zactivated tour. If you think we're crazy here on the YouTube live stream, just wait until we're in person. A full no filter after dark experience. I'm coming to Dallas, Dallas, Phoenix, Philly, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. Okay. 8 cities. Grab your tickets now to the Zactivated tour. It's going to be so fun. A lot of your favorite creators are going to be in the show. We have surprise special guests that are going to be in the show as well. So get your tickets, save your spot right now at nofilterlive.com. Go to nofilterlive.com, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Ciao for now. Goodbye for now to you, my friends. Goodbye for now until we meet again.